Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fishing North Atlantic. We're back out here in the exact same spot of which the last episode took off. And just a little bit ago, we actually did basically a shout out to everybody that is public on the server or on YouTube so I can see. And then today, I wanted to do a little bit something different. A lot of people know that I'm a truck driver, was a cross-country truck driver. A lot of people know that, and so on and so forth. But I felt like a lot of people have subscribed since I last talked about myself. So to get to know me a little bit more, I am 24. Okay? Now, Tin Man especially has been told me a ton that I sound older than I am, right? But no, I am 24. In January, I will be 25. So, I think it was Brad and Tin Man and everybody else said that that makes them feel old. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, not really, but yeah. Anyway, but yes, I am 24. I am from Oregon, born and raised. And yeah, that's about it. That's my life. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No. So, like I said, I grew up in Oregon, born and raised, and my parents, they came from California, hell on earth, basically. So they came up, had me, born and raised. Long story short, when I turned 21, when I turned 4, I always wanted to be a truck driver. I always wanted to do it. It was a very big dream of mine for whatever reason. But yeah, so I wanted to be a truck driver when I was 4 years old. And my brother, he actually told me when a truck was bobtail, which means didn't have a trailer, it was broken. So every time I saw a bobtail truck with no trailer, I always said, hey, that truck's broken. Well, I was 4, okay? Anyway, so fast forward a few years, went to high school, graduated high school. Then I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, right? Because, when you turn 18, you got to figure out what you want to do forever. Well, I didn't go to college because, I couldn't afford it and didn't think it was necessarily important. But looking back now, should have went to college, okay, 100%. Should have just got a loan, went to college, did whatever. One of the other dreams was to be a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse for a short amount of time. Then I figured out that I can't remember shit, period. So, with that being said...
You can take care of me when I'm older, okay?
Well, you're already there. Anyway. But yeah, I wanted to be a nurse. Never got to it. Never got to be, go to school or anything, like I said. But, okay, the game has been doing that lately. Changing that, which is weird. But yeah, so then I turned 21. Well, actually, before that, my first job ever was actually working at a care home. I was a caregiver for Alzheimer's and dementia and stuff like that. There's like 50 different kinds of Alzheimer's and dementia and all that fun stuff. So I did that for, 9 months. And then I decided, well, I'm 19, I'm still young and stupid and so on. There's a good funny line to that, but ain't gonna say it. And I hate this fucking boat. But anyway.
So you can diagnose me in a couple of years?
Yeah, I can diagnose you now if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I turned 19. Well, I was 19 when I got the job, and then I actually got onto a commercial crab boat on the coast of Oregon named the Jeanette Marie. It's an absolute gorgeous boat. Kind of looks almost like this, like the same color. The hull is black and the top is blue. I mean, it's not exactly that, of course, but they go.
You haven't named one of your boats that.
I did, but you haven't been paying attention.
You never use it.
Well, I named the Mickey the Jeanette Marie way back the first time I ever played the game. So you're gonna have to go to like episode 1 and watch it, and I believe it is the Jeanette Marie. Anywho, what?
I said, all right, I will.
Good. So anyway, back to my story. So I was 19, got on a crab boat, And honestly, I have to thank my lovely fiance for helping me out. When I got on the crab boat, we were together for 1 month, and you know, she was the one that told me to go do it, and I was like, well, hell, like I said, I'm still young and dumb, and it goes on. And yeah, so I went out, got on a crab boat, and sadly, I was on it for a week, 3 days to a week, somewhere in there. And the reason it is August 3rd of 2016. I had a chest pain, right? And the longer the time went on, the worse and worse it got. Like it almost felt like I was having a heart attack, right? But the problem is that the doctors didn't know what it was. They had ultrasounds, CAT scans, MRIs, the whole 20 yards, and they couldn't figure out what it was. So knowing that in the back of my head, I got on a crab boat because, you know, that's the next best thing. I was going to let this, you know, imaginary illness problem, you know, stop me. So I went out, got on a crab boat. 3 days in, you know, I went out, we set 500 Dungeness pots, because that's what we catch out here is Dungeness crab. So we set 500 of them, and let me tell you what, it was hard work. We woke up at, the season started at 8 o'clock. It is a derby, so you catch as many as you can, as fast as you can to get the best price, and eventually the you know, the demand isn't there anymore, and then they just stop, right? So that's what we did. And so I set 500 pots, I set up the boat, and then I told the captain, I said, boss, I got to go to the hospital. And he goes, why is that? And I said, because I feel like I'm going to die. Well, this was, the first time it happened was August, and this was January 7th, right? Somewhere in there. And so 3 days basically before my birthday. And then I turned 20, and then I had to leave the boat because the doctor said, we don't know what's going on, but for safety precautions, you're going to have to leave the boat because you have to be on land in case of anything happens. Well, they still didn't know what was wrong with me, but, you know, don't go out. So I was like, okay, fine. So I had to find another job, so I went, got a job at this store that we have around here, worked there, and then my dad was like, hey, you know, actually, no, when I was working at the store, on May 3rd, so exactly 9 months later, my doctor actually sent me up, because they wouldn't listen, they actually sent me up for a upper endoscopic camera down your nose thing, right? And so they did that. Well, the doctor that I had told me specifically, you know, I had one doctor between that span of 9 months that said, it's your gallbladder, we just can't prove it. Well, so I finally got my doctor to set this up, this endoscopic, okay, that was weird, endoscopic thing, and the doctor that did the procedure said, it's not your gallbladder, you know, it's a waste of time, but whatever, you know, it's basically your money lost, right? I mean, he was a real peach, right? So then he did it, he did the upper GI, and I come out of the, you know, because they put you to sleep, so then they woke me up and said, hey, you have like a shit ton of gallstones, and you're having surgery in 4 hours. And I was like, okay, you know, shit's getting real, right? So 4 hours later, I actually didn't make the decision. My fiance now did. She was with me for, what, 9 months? Somewhere in there. 8 months at the time. So my mom was like, no, you know, let's have him decide. And my gal was like, no, just fucking do it, right? Get the shit over with. We're already here, just get done with it. And that's what I would have wanted if I was actually not high on drugs at the moment. But yeah, that's what I wanted, just to get it fucking done. And so basically what happened is that 4 hours later, I had my gallbladder taken out. And so that pretty much stopped the pain, kind of, right? So I still have, to this day, which was 4 years ago, I still have pain from the gallbladder, but I don't have one. So it's kind of a weird situation. But of course, the doctors don't want to do anything for her. But anyway, long story short, let's see. How long has this been? That? Oh, I still have an hour to waste. Long story short, I still have pain, but don't let it stop me. So I couldn't go back on the boat because they already filled the spot. So I basically lost my position, which, you know, kind of sucked. So then I had to figure out what I wanted to do. And then I remembered that I always wanted to be a truck driver. Why? I still, to this day, have no idea why. Okay? It just was something that I wanted to do, so I did it. So when I turned 20... Oh, shut up. This flipping computer beeping at me. So when I turned 21, you can get your CDL at 18. Or at least in Oregon, you can get it at 18, but you can't leave the state of which is Oregon in this case. You can't leave it to go interstate. You can only say intrastate. So basically you can only say in the state. But the problem is that the insurance is so high that no one's going to hire you at 18, right? Because you are still a risk, right? Well, anyway, so at 21, you know, I'm not very proud of this, but I actually did go to Swift up in Lewiston, Idaho. And yeah, I didn't stay there, as you can tell. I didn't stay there because, you know, Swift is absolutely terrible. But yeah, so I stayed there for a few days, and then family emergency happened, so I came home, right? So I was like, okay, so now my CDL life isn't going to happen. Then a few months later, my fiance was working, and she's like, you know what? We're going to get you to college. We're going to get you to a school to teach you how to drive a truck here, and then, you know, be done with it. And I said, okay, fine. So it was a month course, and they taught you how to drive a truck, back the truck up, pass the test, whatever. So a month later, passed the test, and I got my CDL on October 15th, I think it was. So my actual anniversary when I was 21. Are you serious right now? Okay. I guess it is. So I got my CDL in 2018, I think. So we've been together for 2 years at that time. And she decided that she was going to quit the job and go with me. And so then we went to May Trucking Company, which is up in Salem. So I went to Salem, and I was in orientation for 3 days. Now, you have to understand that there's a very big issue here. I was 21 years old and never, and I mean never, drove a semi alone. Ever. So the first day that I was, you know, they took me, the first trip I had in a semi was still with a mentor, was to Layton, Utah, and back to Salem. That was it. That was the first trip. After that, he goes, oh, well, he was actually the boss. He goes, well, here's the keys to a brand new truck. And that was how I got my truck. So after that, I picked up my gal, and first trip was out to Reno. And, you know, life goes on. 2 years later, I got tired of it. I really did. I mean, it was just, I was out for 3 months, and then I'd go home for 5 days. You know, I'd be gone for 3 months, come back for 5 days, so on and so forth. And with that being said, and the BS involved and everything else, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I want to go home. And my fiance was like, well, let's just keep it out. But she wasn't working, right? She had the stress from me bitching and moaning, but she didn't want to go home. And the problem was that my stuff was at my parents' house, but if I went back, I would have to live with them because I didn't have an apartment or nothing. And so that was why she didn't want to go back. So eventually, I got a job back at the care home, and I said, I'm going home. So we went home, and that's when I was driving truck 2, I started YouTube on 2019 of August 21st, 2019. And that's when I first started this channel here. And when I was out on the road, I actually did post videos of the Long Dark. And I talk about Long Dark quite a bit because that was the videos, or the game, that I made videos of all the time. I would make 3 months worth of videos once a week, every Wednesday at noon. And I have probably like 90 videos or something like that of the Long Dart. Well, then I finally came home, and basically when I came home, this is when this game came out. And it, you know, in the analytics of YouTube, when I look at it, when I first started YouTube, you know, I had like maybe 30 subs or something like that when Fishing North Atlantic came out. And 7 months ago, I had 113. So from not getting much traction, you know, just doing it as fun, to now in 7 months we have 545 subscribers. So it's absolutely insane how fast we've grown. But yeah, it's all because of this game. I hate this game, but I love this game at the same time. But anyway, so I worked at the care home, and you know, there's a lot of BS in the care home too. And the pay here in Oregon is absolutely trash, okay? But I got an apartment, of which we're in now. Actually, yesterday, is the day that happened? Yes, so yesterday was the... You seriously missed the buoys that was right in front of you? Anyway, so yesterday was officially 1 year I have been in this apartment. And, you know, now I've worked at the care home, and then I actually put in an application for the county, of which I'm working now, and they need a truck driver, and I had a CDL. I mean, CDLs are very, very common, right? A lot of people have them, but the problem is that no one can pass the drug test or the health requirements to have the CDL or to legally drive. And while I can't drink because I'm allergic to it, and I don't do drugs, marijuana, nothing like that, so pretty much a perfect fit. So I've been working at the county now, literally, on November 7th will be 6 months. It already has been 6 months, okay? It's absolutely insane to think about time. But yeah, so 6 months I've been working at the county, you know, and I drive trucks again, you know. And I like to say that the CDL, or you don't have a CDL, the CDL has you. You know, and if you were a truck driver and you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to explain, but it is the truth. You know, the CDL owns you, not the other way around. But anyway, long story short, so I got back into driving trucks again, and basically I work at the landfill now. So, you know, I deal with trash all the time. I go out and haul trash, haul leachate, which I talk about a lot, and that's what I do now. So, you know, of course, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and then I will answer them on there. Or even if you join the server, we can even have more of a, you know, I guess you could say personal chat, or what have you, right? So, but that is basically my life story in a nutshell in 18 minutes. You know, of course, a lot of stuff happened. You know, if you want to know minor details or whatever, let me know, like I said. But that's basically my life. You know, I drove a truck cross country. Now I drive locally. You know, I have a YouTube channel that I'm very proud of because, you know, I like to think I'm proud of it because I haven't asked anybody to help me out, you know. Like me and Tin Man's been talking about this. I haven't asked anybody to help me out. I haven't, you know, no shout outs or nothing like that. It's a hobby. That's what it's for. You know, as soon as I think that this is a game, or not a game, a job, that's when, you know, it's not fun anymore. You know, and like I always used to say, I'm just some random dude that is talking to himself playing a game. That's all I am. A random dude. And Tin Man, back when like 30 subs or something like that is what he said, that's when he subscribed. You know, he's become a 34, whatever. Ooh, 4. You know, he's become a good friend, literally a good friend. And you know, I've met a lot of good friends out, you know, like Brad, Flying Scotsman, of course Tin Man, you know, and so this journey, even though it has been 2 years, the last 7 months has really changed my life, I think, because now I have friends. Not like I don't have friends in real life, but I really don't. I'm in real life, I'm outgoing, right? I'll joke all day long, but I'm really to myself. I don't really make scenes of anything, you know. I just live my life, you live yours kind of guy. That's me, right? But with YouTube, you know, with Tin Man and stuff like that, it broad
Socialize.
yeah, you know, and so it's very interesting. YouTube has helped in a lot of ways, and it took away a lot of things, you know. So it's a weird situation. But basically, like I keep saying as I keep rambling on, that is my life. So I was a truck driver, like I said. I worked in a care home. So very, very opposite, broad spectrums of the workforce out there. And now I drive trucks again. So, like I said, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Tin Man,
You got a nice cushy job now.
I have a nice cushy job. It's a lot of BS. Don't get me wrong, but
Every job does.
Oh yeah. But with that being said, it's a nice cushy job, pays well, you know, stuff like that. So I was actually the lucky one, because COVID is still a thing, but when they were looking for someone, nobody applied. Oh my God.
Perfect opportunity for you.
Dude, there's 4,000 flipping swordfish around the boat right now.
Yeah, and you're not set up for a harpoon, are you?
No.
That's how it goes. But mark that spot so if you want to do
So come
harpooning.
back.
Exactly.
Like it lagged out a little bit and it went boom, just holy shit.
Yeah, you're right in the middle of a school, or you like to call a pod.
Yeah, right in the middle of the pod, and I can't do anything about it.
Nope,
and I
just
sold all
slowly
my
get out of
harpoon
it.
boats. Oh, there's tuna here too. Oh, it makes the game freaking laggy as all hell too.
Well, the backstabber's not that expensive. $500,000.
Yeah, I may have to go back. I mean, just look at all the it looks like a shit ton of sharks, you know, I'm not gonna lie.
Or you could even be cheaper and just get the Mickey again.
I could, but it's not really worth it. Honestly, I sold the full throttle to get this boat because I thought that this would be better, and it is. I don't know. It like when that happens.
Oh, you're cutting
Deep
in
lines.
notes.
Well, that's your internet, not mine. When
Yes.
that happens, it really fills up fast. But deep lines are more of a solid thing, I'd like to think. Okay, let's go to Yarmouth again. Yarmouth. And let's see what I can do.
Yeah, my internet's crap again.
Yeah, my internet wasn't good this morning either. Tin Man, do you have any questions for me while I'm still talking? Exactly. That's what I thought.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Hello? Anyway, while Tin Man figures out his life, we
Yeah,
made
I'm not hearing
$460,000. But anyway, thank you all so much for
Nice.
being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, so on and so forth. It does truly mean a lot.
You're gonna have to end this one because I keep cutting in and out.
Okay, well then I'll just end it for you. But anyway, thank you all so much for everything you do. Y'all have a great day, and y'all take care.